Brooks' criminal history begins in 1999 at age 17.
Charges and convictions including battery, domestic abuse, drug and firearm possession, resisting law enforcement, and just weeks ago, using his vehicle as a weapon to mow someone down. Families of victims and survivors are furious. Darrell Brooks slipped through the cracks of the justice system.
He has pleaded guilty, been convicted, and done time for drug violations in gun cases, domestic violence, and endangering safety, including obstructing police. Brooks was free on bond after being charged with a violent November 2nd incident in which police say he was behind the wheel and ran over the mother of his child. And he was free at that time on another violent felony case from 2020.
We have a gentleman that has a huge background via multiple states. Just going through some of the Wisconsin cases, they're violent. We have substantial battery, DC, strangulation, suffocation, resisting. Pending cases, they're second-degree reckless endangering safety while armed, felon in possession of a firearm. Those are allegations. He's out on bail on that. Also out on bail on the Milwaukee case ending 4596, where he's charged with second-degree reckless endangering safety, disorderly conduct and battery, and resisting. And then we get into Nevada, battery, the domestic violence, the sexual assault, the sex offender registration violation, and then the battery in Georgia. Other considerations are failures to appear other than 2 years old, and then sentenced to incarceration prior, yes. Current violent felony, yes, or offense, yes. Pending charges at the time of this offense, yes. Prior misdemeanor convictions, yes. Prior felony convictions, yes. Prior violent conduct or conviction, yes. Prior violent convictions, 3 or more. So there have been missed court dates, but then we just heard about a rather significant duration of a 6-month stay in Georgia, in custody there. Some cause for concern, resisting. Again, these are things that would cause me to feel that this gentleman does not follow rules very well. Orders of the court, orders of society, resisting an officer. There's a bail jump in 2012. There's a bail jump. Societal, legal issues, also orders of the court in some instances that are not being followed. While out on bail on 2 rather significant allegations, we are now faced with 5 counts of first-degree intentional. The maximum possible penalties as the statute allows for likelihood of incarceration, which, if you're found guilty of 1 or more of these, even 1 would put you in prison for the rest of your life. I believe you are. The motive is not known, and I'm not entitled to reason. You don't do well under pressure. The Milwaukee County case talks about, as Attorney Opper indicated, you using a vehicle to run over another person with your vehicle. So you don't respond well to what is common sense within our community, our society. So based on that, smallish bails that you were out on didn't do very well. I will set bail. I have no problem with the bail being recommended by the state. I'm an old guy who has been doing this for almost 40 years, DA's office, criminal defense attorney, 17, 18 years as a commissioner, both in Milwaukee and now in Waukesha. The nature of this offense is shocking. Actually, the detail I was not expecting here today, that 2 detectives, not lay people, detectives, not only tried to stop this, but rendered an opinion that this was an intentional act. You're presumed innocent, sir, but that's what the allegations are. I've not seen anything like this in my very long career. It seems to be a very strong case for the state. Likelihood of incarceration, which is the other aspect of bail, is absolute. If you are found guilty of any one of these, a multitude of them, it's a life imprisonment sentence that must be meted out. So I have no problem. I just, with that bail, it's extraordinarily high, but it's an extraordinarily big case. It's an extraordinarily serious case with an extraordinary history of this gentleman, of fleeing, of hurting people, of not following court orders, not following criminal laws, not following just your societal norms. So I know that that's extraordinarily high bail. It's warranted here, and I am setting cash bail in the amount of $5 million.
Mr. Brooks, the live stream is on.
I don't care about no live stream, just like y'all don't care.
All this political, this is show. Y'all told me to do.
Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks, look at me for a minute. Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks, look
Sit
at
here, act like you know me. People like you don't, y'all
Mr.
you don't know
Brooks.
nothing about where I come from.
Mr. Brooks.
Push me, dog.
Don't push back then.
Mr. Brooks.
Don't push back.
Push me again.
Mr. Brooks, we have to continue with this hearing.
No, I'm worried about, man, don't put your hand on me, dude.
Nobody put their hands on you.
Yeah, they better not put their hand on me.
Okay, Mr. Brooks, you need to look at me for a minute, okay?
Why? Listen to all this political stuff y'all got going on?
Mr. Brooks, I'm more concerned about...
Don't touch me, dog. Stay seated.
Stay seated.
All right, we're going to take a break and we're going to come back after lunch. I'm not going to do this with him right now. He needs to be here. He's not cooperating. I'm going to give you the warning, Mr. I will give you the warning that if you continue to interrupt when we go back on the record, you will forfeit your right to be in the courtroom today. I can't have these interruptions. I want you here. It's been a long day and a half.
Put your hands off me.
We'll come back at 12:30.
Just hold it, get it off me.
12:30, everyone. Thank you, Judge.